Doing a garden tour for Old World Farms, just north of Memphis, Tennessee, here in Millington. Just trying to show everybody what we're doing here with as small a space as possible in our urban backyard, running a high-intensity micro farm. Here we've got tomatoes and carrots interplanted with shallots, garlic, asparagus, and onions. All these are heirloom varieties. We've got 19 varieties of tomato here. And these tall trellises will be needed because here in just another month or two, they'll be almost 8 feet tall, bearing fruit almost that entire 8 feet. Here we have some dill interplanted with cucumbers. I'm getting ready to put some trellises up on these hoops so our cucumbers can grow up to these trellises. As you can see, our traffic in the background. And these dill were interplanted with broccoli. We've already harvested the broccoli. It's now early June here. Another row of tomatoes that's interplanted with beets. The beets were initially interplanted with Brussels sprouts, which we've also harvested already. We have some spinach we've allowed to go to seed along with our last cauliflower. And we've got this netting up on here for the cucumbers to grow up. We're planning on making a lot of pickles this year. Our last few cabbages that are holding on here, just starting to head up. Down beyond those are tomatoes. So we have 19 varieties. We're growing here all heirloom, open pollinated, from tiny currant tomatoes all the way up to almost 2-pound beefsteaks. Another beet and cucumber interplanting. We just harvested the last of our kohlrabi out of this row last week. And here we have a row that has 3 different kinds of kale. We have lacinato, dwarf curl, and Russian red. Next we have a row of bell peppers that was initially interplanted with, actually 2 rows of bell peppers that were initially interplanted with lettuce to help kind of shade out the weeds and keep the ground a little bit warmer for these peppers as they got started. We have 2 heirloom Italian varieties and then a local orange bell pepper that we found. And then we have our heirloom New Mexico chili peppers that were seeds were given to us by some friends that lived in New Mexico. We've been growing these on their farm for a very long time. We have a 3rd row of chilies. We have some North African chilies here, some bacalutis, and some Estacino chilies and some jalapenos in the center. And down towards the end, we've got some Tabascos, Serranos, Poblanos, habaneros, and ghost peppers. We have a small row of carrots that didn't germinate too well, so I went ahead and plugged some cantaloupe in with those. We have 3 rows of bush beans. We have a French fillet bean, a Cherokee wax bean, and a burgundy bean. The burgundy bean is just a purple-green bean. When you cook them, they'll actually blanch green like all other colored beans will. We've done 30-inch rows here with some straw between the rows, so you have good walkways, help with keeping the weeds down and not walking on our beds. We're going to be doing no-till from now on. This fence was originally planted in peas, but now we have some bush variety cucumbers, and I'm getting ready to put some lettuce in here to try to see if we can grow some lettuce in the summertime in the shade here. We have one more thing I want to show you. We did a large planting of squash this year. Now one more thing here. We actually started these artichokes from seed this year, and they're interplanted with tomatoes, Swiss chard, and red onions. Forgive the mess. It is a busy backyard with 3 kids and then me out here. And over here is our large squash bed. We've got 50 squash planted of 4 different varieties. We initially put black plastic over this area to burn off or, oculate our local Bermuda grass that is always a pain to get rid of. Now these squash are really coming on. We've got a yellow zucchini, a white zucchini, a green zucchini, and then a small yellow scalloped squash. Well, that's it for our first farm tour. I hope you guys have a great time watching the video. We'll see you again later.